And hello, one and all, and welcome to my live review for tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Tonight, we're going to take a look at what took place on the February 1st, 2016 edition of Raw, and I'm going to give you my overall thoughts and opinions on what took place and did WWE do enough to get us excited for the overall build-up heading into FastLane 2016. Tonight, I just felt like there could have been so much more done with this episode of Raw. I felt like the build was lacking for Fastlane, and especially that second hour going into the third hour really dragged. I thought the first 45 minutes of Raw, before the Social Outcast segment it wasn't too bad. And, there was some stuff that I did enjoy. It wasn't all, I don't want to make it seem like that I didn't enjoy anything on this show, but from what I was expecting, I was disappointed with tonight's episode of Raw. So let's get into what took place on tonight's show. So I really liked how we kicked things off tonight. We were in Birmingham, Alabama for tonight's episode of Raw. And the best way to kick things off is with the one in 22-1, the Beast incarnate Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman. Make your way to the ring, tremendous reaction as to be expected. And Heyman gets on the mic. He pretty much says that the Royal Rumble, Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family, they pissed Lesnar off and they invoked the 11th commandment, which is thou shalt not intentionally provoke Brock Lesnar. So Heyman said pretty much that Lesnar will deal with the Wyatt family when that time comes. But he turns his attention to the triple threat match upcoming at Fastlane between Lesnar, Reigns, and Ambrose. And Heyman pretty much talked up his game that putting Lesnar in that match is what's best for business, or as Heyman said it, is beast for business, and that Lesnar pretty much is going to be the one that will defeat Ambrose and Reigns. He will pick both of them up on his shoulders, frickin' F5 them, and be the one to face Triple H at Fastlane. And then, this is the part of the segment that I really liked. Dean Ambrose made his way to the ring. Huge fan of Dean. As soon as the music hit, I was like, oh boy, I wonder what's going to happen. Because we've never seen an Ambrose-Lesnar confrontation up to this point yet. Heyman into the mix. Damn, this could be a really good feud down the line. I would love to see Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar. Just a one-on-one singles match at a future pay-per-view. Don't know how you guys feel about that, but let me know. What do you think about a Dean Ambrose-Brock Lesnar feud? I see great potential in it, and it's something that I would hope WWE would consider for the future. But Dean came down to the ring, and pretty much got in Lesnar's face. He says, Dean's nuts. You never know what you're going to get with him, and that's why he made this segment awesome. And Ambrose said he's not afraid of Brock Lesnar, and I like this. He was willing to get in Lesnar's face. He wasn't, going to run away or be scared. And pretty much Ambrose told Lesnar that he wants him to take Ambrose to Suplex City. And pretty much Dean wanted to make a statement, wanted to get in Lesnar's face, and like he said, show him that he wasn't afraid. And I thought it was a really good segment. I liked the way that they, Brock kind of blew him off and was kind of like, oh, who's this guy I think he is? And Dean just wasn't putting up with it, even though he was clearly the underdog and clearly outmatched in size and physicality compared to Lesnar. I felt he held his own in this segment, and this definitely got me excited for the upcoming triple threat match at Fastlane in 3 weeks. So I thought it was a good way to start Raw. And then from there, you had Kalisto versus Rusev, which was non-title match. Del Rio was out there on commentary, and it was also announced that at Fastlane in 3 weeks, it will be Kalisto versus Alberto Del Rio for the United States Championship, The only critique I have about that is I would hope that they would add a stipulation to that match. Not that I don't enjoy seeing Kalisto and Del Rio, but I feel like for this one, you have to give me something more, because if we keep seeing them in singles matches, this one will get repetitive. Even though the match might be good, I feel like you need to add that extra layer, that extra sense of urgency. Ooh, maybe a ladder match. Maybe 2 out of 3 falls match. Maybe falls count anywhere. No DQ. Something. Just something to finish off this feud and hopefully advance Kalisto. What I would like to see him do is possibly fight Neville at WrestleMania. I feel like that would be a good opportunity to spotlight both guys. But getting back to this match tonight on Raw, I thought Neville and Rusev, they actually had a pretty good, enjoyable match. It was the Rusev was the bigger, dominant force in the ring versus Kalisto. But Kalisto really shined in this match. Once he gets his offensive moves in with that Lucha Libre style, the crowd was really getting behind him. And, it was just a good, fast-paced match. And Kalisto was able to eventually get the win after it ended in Rusev got counted out after Kalisto hit a diving Hurricane Rana off the table onto Rusev. Kind of looked like they almost botched it, but Rusev eventually crashed into the barricade, and it led to Kalisto getting the victory. So good match for Kalisto. Thought he really shined in this match, and I thought it was a good way to start Raw, like I said. Then we had a backstage segment. It was between Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Stephanie. Stephanie basically trying to get inside the heads of Ambrose and Reigns, trying to say that all friends in WWE, all teammates will eventually turn on one another. Just trying to plant the seeds of discontent, of just trying to cause friction between Ambrose and Reigns is what I'm trying to say. And Ambrose pretty much tells Reigns tells Stephanie to enjoy it while she can, having her husband as world heavyweight champion. And after FastLane, Reigns says either he or Ambrose will be WWE champion. And then Stephanie announces that for tonight's main event, it will be Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns teaming up to face the team of New Day Rocks. New Day Rocks. So not too bad of a main event match announced for later on the show tonight. Then we had a backstage interview segment with Brie Bella. Brie basically talking about how Nikki, she had neck surgery, how she's going to recover, come back stronger than ever. And then Charlotte and Ric Flair basically interrupt her. And then Charlotte basically says that Nikki's injury, happened after she faced Charlotte at Hell in a Cell, and that it might have possibly been because of Charlotte. So, kind of playing up that fact. And then this would eventually set up for a Brie Bella Charlotte match later on in the night. After this, we had the Usos. They came out and they took on the Social Outcast. This match dragged. This match I felt was really pointless. I think there is potential in the Social Outcasts. I don't want to write them off. However, this match felt like did them no favors. Crowd really wasn't into it. It was just a match. I mean, Bo Dallas wasn't there, and apparently him and Bray Wyatt were down. They had to go visit their grandfather, who was suffering from medical conditions. So sorry to hear about that. So hopefully everything will be all right with their family. Send my thoughts and prayers to them. But yeah, the Usos were able to basically pick up the victory after Jimmy hits super kick on all of the Social Outcasts members and it hits the flying splash on Adam Rose. So the match was what it was, didn't really do anything for anybody. And I don't know about you, but I'm throwing it out there. I would like to see the Usos turn heel. I feel like their act has kind of been going stale for a while now. Not that I like the Usos, but I feel like a heel turn would really, change up their characters and give them that boost that they just seem to be missing right now. I don't really have a reason to care to watch them. I mean, they have good matches, but they're missing in that character department. And I just feel like a heel turn right now especially would be opportune timing. So let me know down below. Do you think the Usos should turn heel? Because I really think that they should. And after this match, we had the Miz TV segment with special guest, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. AJ did not have a lot to say here. Basically, it was the Miz talking him up. Basically, every time he tried to put the mic in AJ's face, he would take it back away, and AJ was just getting more pissed and pissed. And the Miz, I give him credit. He actually did a good job here. He was saying how, the only way that AJ can survive in the big time is if the Miz would mentor AJ Styles, because the Miz main event at WrestleMania. The Miz helped Daniel Bryan. The Miz was talking himself up like he was the greatest thing since sliced freaking bread. I was getting frustrated at him. I'm like, son of a bitch, you let AJ Styles talk, all right? And AJ eventually had enough of it, and then he just starts, he decked the Miz, and then he just starts beating the shit out of him. And I like this segment. I was worried they're just going to have the Miz go out there and shit all over AJ. But no, AJ eventually got his comeuppance and laid the Miz out. And then it was announced later on in the night that AJ Styles will be facing the Miz on SmackDown. That should be a good match. And Mario Ranallo will have commentary for it. So that's another plus to watch, that match on SmackDown. So yeah, it was a good segment. And I just like the build of eventually them getting to AJ, not turning, but just beating the shit out of the Miz. It's exactly what I wanted to see. Then we had, this was the part of the show where I just felt like it just went, this usually happens with Raw. You have, it's that second hour, I feel like, that just really, really can drag the show down. And if the second hour drags, usually if the third hour drags, it's just like, man, the show goes off the rails. We had Brie Bella versus Charlotte. Match was what it was. I think it went something like 4 minutes. Was nothing special. And surprisingly, Brie Bella pinned the Divas champion. So I was surprised to see that happen. Not sure if they're going to go with possibly Brie Bella versus Charlotte now at FastLane. I don't know what they're doing. I thought they were possibly going to be doing a triple threat match between Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch. But we'll have to see. They might be trying to save that for WrestleMania and then just do, excuse me, Brie Bella versus Charlotte at Fastlane. So we'll have to see what they do there. Like I said, this match was nothing special. Then we had, this was really painful to watch. We had the Big Show versus Eric Rowan. Match was nothing at all. It was just blah. The Big Show chokeslams Eric Rowan to get the pinfall. You heard me correct. In 2016, we had the Big Show beat a member of the Wyatt family. And after the match, the Wyatts beat down Big Show. But it's like, really? I mean, really? Apparently Big Show's face again for the umpteenth time. How many face and heel turns has this guy had? It's like, I could care less about the Big Show. And if the rumors are to be true, there are rumors that it's going to be Big Show versus Braun Strowman at WWE Fastlane, because there's rumors that Braun Strowman might face The Undertaker. I have no desire to see either of those two matches. I feel like there are numerous other candidates that would be more worthy to face Undertaker at WrestleMania 32 in his home state of Texas, nonetheless. So I hope to God we are not getting Braun Strowman versus the Big Show at Fastlane, because I just feel like that's a match that nobody wants to see. Well, except for Vince McMahon, but we all know how that goes. So, yeah, the Wyatts beat down the Big Show. Whoop-de-doo. Then we had another match that was just blah. It was Titus O'Neil defeating Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze. Poor Tyler Breeze. I know he's not, he has potential. And I feel like, I've said it before. He only got 3 months, and Vince soured on him. I mean, you could have given Breeze maybe an IC title run or a U.S. title. I didn't see him making the World Heavyweight Championship scene, but I felt like he would have been a nice addition to the mid-card mix. Give him some feuds to work with, play up his character of being all about himself. But no, we're just going to have him lose every single match that he's in. So this match was basically pointless because it led to no storyline development. So yeah, this was the part of the show where this second hour, I'm telling you, it just dragged tonight. And I feel bad for Tyler Breeze. I really do. If they're not going to do anything with him, you might as well, send him back up to NXT. So the match, like I said, nothing special at all. There was an interesting backstage confrontation. Heyman and Lesnar were talking, and then Triple H came over, and he asked Lesnar, how was Ambrose able to get in his face and live to tell about it? And he pretty much said, is Brock getting soft? And then Lesnar tells Hunter that, you'll find out at WrestleMania. So possibly teasing, might we see Brock versus Triple H again at WrestleMania? I don't think that's the outcome. I either see Ambrose or Reigns winning. Would love to see Dean Ambrose face Triple H at WrestleMania. Don't know about you, but I feel like that would be a tremendously fresh matchup and something that the crowd would truly be behind. So interesting backstage segment between Brock Lesnar and Triple H. After this, we had Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens. Again, after we saw this match last week, and I believe this is the 9th time they have faced each other. I love Dolph Ziggler, and I love Kevin Owens, but for the love of God, the amount of times we see the same matches over and over and over again on Raw and SmackDown and Main Event and Superstar, it's just nauseating. And then this match doesn't feel special anymore. We just saw it last week, and you did the match again. Now, granted, it was a good match, but when you see it so many times, you eventually become desensitized to it. And I should not be feeling that way about seeing Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens. Ziggler won, which was surprising. About time Ziggler won a match. Somebody tell me down below, when was the last time that Dolph Ziggler won a match? Because I can't remember. But yeah, it was a good match, but the problem is we saw it last week. We've seen it 8 other times before that. And I don't know what they're doing with Ziggler. He hasn't really had a storyline since that god-awful love triangle with Lana and Summer Rae. So I don't know what they're doing with Dolph Ziggler. Hopefully Kevin Owens is on a collision course with AJ Styles. I'd love to see that feud at WrestleMania. After this, we had the boss, Sasha Banks, make her way to the ring, and she cut a nice little promo. She basically said she's back. She's going to do this on her own. She doesn't need the members of Team Bad. She's not really cutting ties with them, but she wants to go on with it on her own. She wants to go after that Divas Championship, and she's coming for Charlotte's title. Then Naomi and Tamina come out to the ring, basically tell her, we have unity. We want to be there with you, and we'll be with you at ringside for your match against Becky Lynch. The match did not go that long. Eventually, as Sasha tries to get Becky back in the ring, she tells Naomi and Tamina she can handle it on her own. Naomi and Tamina begin to beat down on Sasha Banks, so therefore Sasha is the winner of the match as a result of disqualification. But after the match, Becky comes back to help Sasha clear Naomi and Tamina from the ring. So we get a little NXT reunion. As we all know, Becky and Sasha, for the longest time on NXT, had a fairly good partnership going until Becky split with Sasha. But it was nice seeing them back in the ring together on the same side, if for only one night. And the crowd was chanting NXT, so it was nice to hear that as well. So not too bad of the match wasn't really anything because it didn't go that long, but the overall segment I thought worked. And then we had our main event of the evening. We had the New Day make their way to the ring. They kind of a good New Day promo. I love every time New Day comes to the ring. You never know what you're going to get with them. They basically talked about The Rock's potty mouth and how they think about the kids. It's a kids show. You don't want to hear crap like that for the kids. And it was just classic New Day. They were hamming it up, and there was a little kid in the ring with a Bullet Club shirt on, and they were saying how he was jiving his hips and everything. And I love New Day. They're so fun to watch. And they basically said how they were going to beat up The Rock's cousin and The Rock's cousin's friend. So that was funny, and they were clearly having fun. The crowd was into them. And the match between the New Day versus Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose wasn't too bad of a match. I mean, it was a good tag match, and Ambrose and Reigns were able to pick up the victory after Reigns was able to punch Kofi Kingston, hit him with the Superman punch, and Ambrose was able to pick up the victory with Dirty Deeds on Big E for the win. So I was glad to see Ambrose get the pinfall, the 3 count, and then after the match, there's one thing I knew I had to mention. Paul Heyman was on commentary during this match. My God, what a difference, that made. He was just shooting out everything Michael Cole, Byron Saxton, and JBL were saying. It was just so funny. He made them look like fools. And as we all know, they are fools. They are the three stooges of commentary. So it was great having Paul Heyman on commentary tonight. I wish he was out there every single week because he can make commentary that much more phenomenal. But for the main event match, it was good hearing Paulie out there. Then, after the match, Brock Lesnar's music hits, and he makes his way to the ring. And the New Day begin to beat down Ambrose and Reigns. They're laying down an attack. And then Lesnar's just watching New Day beat the shit out of Ambrose and Reigns. Reigns is on the outside. I believe he's getting beat up by Kingston, if I'm not mistaken. And then Brock goes and he picks up Dean Ambrose and lays him out with an F5. So I like how they carried over the continuity from what happened at the beginning segment of Raw, and it carried over to the ending segment of Raw. So yeah, that's what happened on tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Overall, I expected more from this show, especially, we are on the road to WrestleMania, and I expect much better efforts from WWE. So not sure where we're going to be going with FastLane. I was hoping for more build-up to FastLane. I mean, the title match did get billed. They announced Kalisto and Del Rio. Besides that, can't forget to mention this. Chris Jericho cut a promo saying, backstage interview, basically saying how he will be watching AJ Styles' match with The Miz on SmackDown. And I like this promo from Jericho, kind of playing up, will he get involved? I'm hoping they do turn Chris Jericho heel, and that would be a tremendous way to have a feud between him and AJ Styles at Fastlane. So that looks like a possible match that'll be added to the card. We might be seeing Charlotte versus Brie Bella. Not too down with that. And then Braun Strowman versus The Big Show. I hope that doesn't happen, but it seems like based on what happened on tonight's episode of Raw, that's the route that we're going. So those look like to be some of the matches that'll be added to Fastlane. And yeah, my overall grade for tonight's episode of Raw, I'm going to give it a D+. Like I said, I expect better on the road to WrestleMania. So hopefully with next week's episode of Raw, things pick up. So we shall see. So those are my thoughts and opinions on tonight's episode of Raw. I would like to know down in the comments section what you guys thought of Monday Night Raw. Always enjoy getting that feedback. Create some good discussion going. And yeah, please let me know down below what you thought of tonight's episode of Raw. Thank you all for watching this live Monday Night Raw review. I appreciate everyone that did. And please click that like and subscribe button for more video content coming to this channel in the future. I will be doing a book review for Daniel Bryan's autobiography book. Just finished reading that. Really good book. So hopefully I will get that up within this week or next week. And stay tuned. My NXT and Lucha Underground reviews will be back for this upcoming Wednesday. So that's what's coming ahead for the channel. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And with that, I will see you guys later. Peace.